Thank y'all for joining me today. It's the WCS Challenger European Qualifiers. Right now, we're in the losers bracket, but these guys are both trying to be winners today. On the bottom right, representing Meliora Esports, it's SortOf. Oh my god, my mouse got a problem there. We're gonna have to try that again. On the top left, representing, is it Exceed Esports? It's Clem. So there you go. That was much better, right? That was flick of the wrist. We got the flick of the wrist right here. And what we also have is a TVZ. So let's see what we're gonna get out of SortOf. Typically speaking, the Zerg could set the tone in the early game against the Terran, but if he remains passive, then that leaves the window for Clem to do so. So we're gonna find out who's gonna be the aggressor here in our first game. So we have a gas first. Very standard play here by Clem. Really nothing out of the ordinary just yet. Depends if he opts to take his CC or if he opts to go for like a weird 1-1-1. Doesn't look like it though because the second gas hasn't been taken. So yeah, we have a standard game here coming out of Clem. Nothing out of the ordinary. Scouting for proxies perhaps. We're just going to send this for a full scout at the Zerg base. Either way, Clem wants to get some information. The CC does go down. And SortOf decides to cut one guy from gas. So he still has a lot of all-in potential if he wants it. Really not a big deal. But we'll see what kind of information Clem gets here. And we're going to also find out whether or not SortOf ends up taking a third base relatively soon. He does, but not where you expect it. It's actually at Clem's third. And you know what's funny? Clem tried to scout for this, right? Well, not really, actually. He went a little bit here, a little bit there, but not that much. So he's playing in the dark right now. SortOf's got the sneaky tricks up his sleeve to put a lot of pressure on the XE Terran. Oh my god, I was doing camera follow for a second. Sorry about that. I just wanted the vision there. So beautiful Reaper micro here from Clem. SortOf losing a single link. It's not the end of the world. The Queen is out though. So for now, the Reaper's going to be at bay. So the big thing here is, when is Clem going to realize that this third has gone down at his third? He's not going to try to take his third just yet, that's for sure. And if he does, he'd build it at home more than likely. So I feel like he's going to be left out in the dark for a little while, and it's very hard for him to pinpoint what SortOf is doing. In fact, the fact that he brought this SCV here is very important because SortOf is not expecting the SCV, excuse me, to be there scouting. He's expecting the Reaper to be scouting for that. So I don't know. Basically what I'm trying to say is that SortOf might not know that Clem knows. That's the big thing. But then again, Clem is still unaware of this base. The Roaches are coming out. Pretty interesting response, though. I mean, it's not a response just yet, but it's a relatively safe opener. Clem does know that there's no third here. So I feel like stealth units, he knows it can't be Hydras. So Banshees are a pretty good pick overall. And there you go. First SCV does go down. And this depot isn't going to go up either. Clem is supply blocked right now, guys. So what he has here is what he's going to have. He definitely needs to build more depots right now. No depots yet. He might have to throw the emergency depot add-on here just to keep producing. But he's not going to do it. He's going to wait for the supply. Oh, no, there it is. All right. So this Banshee should be able to clean things up. At least force a pushback, but there is a Queen here as well. So I think this is when Clem realizes, hey, how's he getting there? And he sees the creep, and now it's a little too little too late because SortOf is coming in strong. Alright, so this CC is going to have to lift off. The Banshee is here. There is a single Queen, but the Banshee doesn't have stealth yet. So once it gets Cloak, he's going to be able to hit that Queen. But for now, taking a lot of damage. Alright, so very important that this depot goes up. It doesn't, so basically SortOf is flooding into Clem's base right now, really seizing the opportunity there. Perfect timing, running in there the way he did. Really not giving Clem any breathing room whatsoever. These roaches are taking damage, but they're also dealing a lot of damage too. 11 workers killed by SortOf. Very nicely done. In fact, there's a lot of creep spreading here to Clem's natural, so he won't be able to put his CC down soon. So he's going to try and beat the creep to it, but I think the creep spread is just about there, and that's it. This CC is in fact denied till he puts down a scan. But the thing is, guys, he does not have he does have a Raven on the way at least, but it's nowhere near done, and there's not a scan available. So at the moment, this hatchery, just the fact that it denies the CC from going down is already worth it in itself. Incredible play by SortOf. So Clem doing a cute little play here, just denying the third base of SortOf for a little bit longer with that eBay block, but still it is nothing compared to the damage he's taking here right now. Loss of income, mules can't be dropped. The Raven is out though, but he still needs to wait for this creep to dissipate, so that's at least another 10 seconds there. Really incredible play by SortOf, and he could actually re-creep. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna throw down more tumors with these queens. He's got a spore, so he's basically invulnerable to the Banshee at the moment. But there are 2 siege tanks out, and this is the way that Clem sort of pushes us back here. I think we're gonna get another skirmish right now. And here we go. Clem is pushing on, but realizing that there might be a little too much, SortOf posturing in a really safe position here, out of range from the tanks. Not going to engage unless Clem really overcommits here, overextends here. But then again, I'm eating my words. Here we go. Cast a curse. So that one siege tank does go down with a couple amazing biles there. The spores are putting in work, revealing the Banshees as well as the Overseer. And look at this Raven. It's got like 1 bar of health points left. And this weak Ravager, weak Roach turning into a strong Ravager there. Pretty clutch. And another set of biles do go down, this time on the other tank in the back. So very nicely executed by SortOf. Slowly but surely picking off those very expensive units from Clem. You know, losing a few Marines here and there, not a big deal. Losing the tanks that he's been spending a few minutes to build is pretty significant. But that last one does go down too. Perfect number of biles there. Really precise execution by SortOf. So Clem still holding on. In fact, he does have a worker lead against SortOf, so he's definitely still in this. Another command center goes down as well. So that's going to be his third. SortOf's third is not really well saturated. More roaches, and more Ravagers being made. Wow, what a beautiful surround here. And the biles on the tank and the kill on the Raven. Yeah, Clem is in a lot of trouble. These Marines don't have stim. They don't have Marine shield. They don't really have anything. They're just Marines with a medevac. So a very, very difficult situation for Clem here in this first game. Wow. What a push here by SortOf. I mean, he doesn't have a Nidus to pull back or anything like that, but I mean, he doesn't really need to. He just wants to keep on pushing. He'll definitely want to get some corrosive biles on that siege tank soon enough. A queen will go down though. Clem really fighting and giving his all right now. But SortOf pushing on forward, getting those biles down. So, in fact, it's just a couple. It won't be enough to kill the tank just yet. A few repairs are going down on the tank. In fact, all the SCVs. Clem really knows he needs that tank alive to stay in this game. Beautifully positioned tank on the high ground. That might help Clem hold on here. And SortOf doesn't expect it as much. So, basically, Clem needs to pick up and leave, I think. He doesn't want to stay there, or at least walk back. Oh, so yeah, very, very vulnerable area at the same time, right? Those biles got there very easily. And the Overseer is still alive, basically made it possible for SortOf to hit that tank. Alright, so if these Marines kill the Overseer, then maybe the tank can reign supreme on the high ground. But it doesn't look like that's happening right now. And a lot more Lings are flooding in here with the Roaches, with the Ravagers. The SCVs are being pulled. The tank gets blown to smithereens. The GG is thrown. SortOf takes game number 1. GG, guys. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, guys. That was a really sick game. I gotta fix my overlay a little bit. make it look a little prettier. SortOf's name is like, it's not in the best place. All right, there you go. That's better. So really good game, guys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. The score is now 1-0 in favor of SortOf. So we're gonna put that in there, and we're gonna hop into our second game ASAP. ASAP. Actually, I gotta get the replays out of the chat, so I mean it doesn't spoil it at least, but yeah, I gotta make sure those aren't loading up. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. Should be getting into game 2 in just a moment. Nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're in. We got game number 2 between Clem and SortOf. Get hyped. Players are ready. I'm ready. We're just waiting on SortOf, and here we go. Game number 2, baby. Thanks for hanging out, guys. See y'all on the flip side. This is WCS Challenger. That production, though. I gotta get a smoother transition with that. All right, here we go, guys. Our second game here. The winner of the last one. The Red Zerg. It's SortOf. And on the bottom left side of Lost and Found, the Green Terran, the young prodigy. It's Clem. So, is Clem gonna switch it up this game? Is SortOf gonna switch it up this game? I mean, I don't think he can get away with a proxy hatch at the second game in a row. So, I definitely do think SortOf is gonna switch it up here. But Clem, I think, you know, could play the same way as long as it's not a proxy hatch. He'd probably be okay. Excuse me, guys. I had a little thing there in my throat, but we're good. Let's see how SortOf decides to go about it. I wouldn't be surprised if we just played super greedy this game and just tried to hold off whatever attacks Clem does, but maybe he'll be aggressive. Maybe he's got another all-in up his sleeve. So Clem just doing the absolute standard. No shenanigans just yet. Good pool timing, just a standard pool timing by SortOf. Sending out both overlords. Actually, just one, keeping this one at home. Excuse me. Clem getting the scout with the SCV here. He definitely needs to be sure that he knows that the third is going down when it's supposed to go down, and if not, he needs to check at his base and make sure it's not going down. I'm sure he's gonna check a second time though, because this scout was the scout that he did the first time around, and he still missed it. So he'll definitely have to check again, especially if he doesn't see the third base. So no drone in sight, no base in sight. Clem is just gonna play the waiting game with this SCV here. And in fact, SortOf just clicked there, so he is going for it with a couple links. Wow, that game sense, because the Reaper's coming. Okay, good call, good call. Oh, look at that! Did you guys see that? That drone! That drone was drifting, guys. He was skating. I've never seen a drone do that before. All right. Goodness, guys, that drone was drifting. Hopefully you guys saw that. Tokyo drift. Alright, so this Reaper is really low. I mean, with good micro, this drone should be able to put things down. Oh, the SCV almost got the block, but that was a really hard one to micro. So, not bad by Clem. He's really playing hardball here. That queen could have hit it for like a split second. But, you know what? Clem's got that skillful micro. Not a bad attempt there. Alright, so we do have the queens in position here to deny this Reaper. Although the Reaper could go up on the high ground. Doesn't really go for that though. A Reaper bomb hits both queens at once, not too shabby. And back home at Clem's base, we do have a 1-1-1 reactor on the factory. So just the ability to make a lot of Hellions. And we do have a tech lab on the barracks. Likely to be for the starport though. Or maybe Banshees once again, or Raven once again. We'll find out. So basically, we have this medevac being loaded by Clem. He's got a Cyclone and 4 Marines in there. And it's really going to be important to see if he can get any damage done with this. Because right now, Clem has 29 workers to SortOf's 38. So 8 workers behind. Basically, he wants to kill 8 workers. That's the dream here. That is the dream. Oh, excuse me. That was just the Reaper, but it almost got another kill. It didn't really. So SortOf is actually ahead in worker kills with that 1 worker down. So now this push here could actually DPS down this hash relatively well, but there are 2 queens, so Clem needs to be careful here. He does have a medevac to heal these Marines a little bit, but I don't think they can take on 4 queens and all these lings. Definitely not. So he will be forced to push back here. I'm gonna thank him. Zanster's the man. See, this is what an awesome player does. He remembers. He's like, "Do you want in again?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Give him some love. All right, so look at this. We have the CC here. Cannot be repaired while it's building, mind you, so I don't see why he doesn't just keep focusing it. That's what SortOf is going to do, and he forces a cancel there. That's the risky thing about building a CC in that position. So now we have the extra depot being dropped there. The Hellions do come up to clean up house, but this is a lot of mining time and a canceled base here by Clem. So really tough position that SortOf is putting him in it. And the Hellions do clean up house though, but look at all this extra spending. He had to build the emergency depot drop. It's a bit tough, but there was a Banshee here, so there's actually a lot of multitasking going on. I'll do my best not to miss that again. My bad, guys. So the Queen and the Spore should be more than enough, and we do have a multi-prong attack here. We got a drop at the 3rd. We have Hellions at the natural as well, cleaning up a lot of links here. These Cyclones are actually doing some damage, but the Queens are going to be able to clean this up, no problem. So these Hellions are definitely the money makers. He doesn't want to waste these shots. He wants to hit workers with all these shots. That is for sure. So Clem going into the main. I feel like these should be sacrificial. Who's lagging the game? Who is it? Who did we lose? Mint Crystal. Oh. Wow, he got dropped right away. Alright, so here we go. Pretty decent hold here by SortOf, but he does lose a lot. You know what? He lost a lot of workers. I mean, he could still reproduce them, but the thing is, Clem's on 52. It didn't look that bad, but then I really took a good look at the drone count, and yeah, it's not great. Really good position for Clem, but here's the thing. SortOf does have a really good army value right now, so he could definitely try to break in here, and the wall is down, actually, if he just shoved those links, but now the wall is gonna... Oh, wow. To my surprise, actually, Clem is going out here. He's protruding out. He doesn't expect all these units here coming from SortOf. All right. So the Lings do manage to get in. I think that's a big mistake. The Corrosive Vials go straight on the tank. So right now, there's so much AoE. There's the SCVs being pulled here. SortOf bringing the pain train to Clem at the moment. Clem trying to hold on tight, pulling all the boys. He still has a good worker count, though, despite losing those. He's at 46 versus 27. So as long as he can hold on here, Clem will be in an excellent position. Wow, very, very nice hold by Clem, and SortOf taps out. Clem takes game number 2. We got a series, boys and girls. We got a series. GG. All right, all right. We're going to update these scores here. And we're going to keep things moving. We're going to keep things moving. This is great. Okay. We got lots of people watching. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Did I thank you for the follow. I won't say your name, but thank you for the follow. What a username. Yeah, I'm just gonna send him a quick ping for game number 3. Should be going up now. Got my invite. We're all good and toasty. Hope you guys are enjoying this set. Hit that follow button if you are. And don't be shy to say what's up in chat. I am reading it when I can. Vagabunka as well, thank you for the follow. Shout out to LP Ulterior Motive once again for the 250 bits. The support Israel. Okay. Looks like we're going in. Get hyped. Everyone's in this game. This is a big one. No one wants to miss it. Everyone wants to cast it. It's a big one. All right. Players are ready in a moment. So, I don't know if I got my answer in the chat though, but would you guys like me to cast the NA qualifiers tonight as well? Are you guys down for that? Double whammy. I can definitely hit it up. I'm supposed to, in fact, but it's a lot of casting, right? It's like my time, it's like from 10 in the morning till basically, if it ends at the same time as yesterday, like 1:30 at night, you know? It's like over 12 hours. It's crazy. So I got the passion, I got the drive, but I want you guys to let me know that you want that too, because it takes a lot, but I'm willing to do it. More than happy to, in fact. Big shout out to Blizzard for giving me the opportunity. It's the dream come true. So someone asked, are more Protosses playing? There might be a couple left, but the bracket, you can type it out in chat, !bracket, and I'll even type it for you, and you'll get your answer regarding that. Thank you guys for joining me. It's your boy Gosu PvP, casting the WCS EU qualifiers for Challenger. Let's get it on. All right, guys. Game number 3. On the top left, the Red Zerg representing Meliora Esports. It's SortOf. And on the bottom right of Catalyst, the Green Terran representing Exceed. It's Clem. So, this is definitely important. Both of these guys want to qualify, and from what I believe, one of them just won't be able to. This is the lower bracket, so we'll see if they can take it. Actually, let me double check that. Is this the lower bracket? I'm so sorry, guys. What a vibe kill. Give me one quick second. I just want to check my facts here. Yeah, it is the lower bracket. I just want to make sure I'm telling you guys the right thing at all times. Here we go. Let's keep it going. So, standard opening here on both sides. In fact, yeah, he is going to take his gas. So completely standard. Gasless openings aren't really a thing anymore in CVT. I think it's really hard to pull off, and people tend to just have so much more damage potential when they open up with the speed, so, or with the gas, I should say. So definitely, definitely, a good call. You're too limited on queens only. So we get another CC down here from Clem. And the scout. SCV doing its thing. Always checking the gases. Always checking the third base. So we're going to see what Clem ends up seeing here. He doesn't really commit in there. He doesn't really try to see the gas. I feel like you could still see the gas timing, no problem. But he'd rather keep this SCV alive and just monitoring the third base as soon as possible. So we'll see when SortOf ends up taking it. Probably the same timing as last game he just played here. He definitely caught Clem by surprise with his proxy hatch, but can he do it in a full-on standard game here? Based on the last game, it seems like SortOf had a bit of a hard time. He overcommitted to that push and just wasn't really able to seal the deal here. So I see a lot of people in the chat. Blue Knight, hello, hello. People are saying yes, cast the NA qualifiers. Cobber says yes, cast the NA qualifiers. Chloe says yes, cast the NA qualifiers. Okay, I got you guys covered. We're casting the NA qualifiers. I hear you loud and clear. I am a caster now. I have been since last year, actually. In fact, I was casting years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. But it's a little bit more official now. Since the Ghost to PvP Cup, we haven't really done too much casting content, so this is great. Great opportunity. Lots of fun. The background is really quite nice. I'm glad you're enjoying the layout of the stream as well. Alright, so that eBay block once again from Clem gets picked up, delaying SortOf's third base a little bit longer. And we do have a Cyclone, basically the same opener as last time. It's a 1-1-1, exact same opener every time. It's a very standard style by Clem that can't really be punished too hard. And there's a drop that's moving out though, so I mean, technically speaking, this could be punished with just a swath of lings or something. But there are no lings out on the map. I feel like this is a little risky. What if there are like a bunch of lings coming out and about? I mean, I guess he does have Hellions as an answer to deal with them, but he would be losing a lot of workers here. So I feel like that's literally the hole in Clem's build. Alright, so these queens are in an excellent position to deal with this drop. So if only lings are out on the map to do damage, but you know what? There's no creep yet. So these queens are having a hard time getting to the medevac, and Clem will have map control until basically now, until the creep spreads. So there is a ling realizing that Clem's base is open, but Clem is supply blocked at the moment. It must be a very temporary supply block, hopefully for him. Wow, yeah, so this depot is finishing up. So really part of the build. It's not a big deal here for Clem. He's doing A-okay with the macro. Alright, so these Hellions got to get some damage in. Clem did a pretty good job last game. So SortOf is going to have to respect these even more than he did before. We're going to see if it's going to be a better hold the second time around. Furthermore, we do have this little push here, distracting a lot of queens here. In fact, this is very cost effective. These queens are definitely more valuable than this, if not about the same value. But this is it. This is what I'm talking about. The Hellion damage. He doesn't want to let him get into his mineral patch like this. So basically, a lot of lings get barbecued. Look at this choke. A lot of AoE here coming out of the Hellions, but they definitely are cleaned up a little bit better than last time. Maybe 4 or 5 workers less. So SortOf in a better position this game around. Yeah, I mean, definitely playing a gasless style can be very good, you know, so obviously some players can do it well, but I'm just saying at the highest level, it's a little uncommon to see it. think this is definitely up there in the echelons of TVZ. And we have a third CC coming out from Clem. Gonna be transferred there shortly. These queens have been putting in a lot of work defensively and also creepily. They're creeping up. So now we have a huge amount of links. Oh my god, the depot is down. But he's SortOf is not capitalizing on the situation. Does he see it? Does he didn't realize it was down. I feel like when you're there, you just gotta go for it right away. I think he was trying to macro behind it or something. I'm not quite sure. But SortOf definitely should have jumped on that situation here. He could have gotten into Clem's bases. It would have given him a hard time for sure. So Clem hanging on tight, trying to poke with this medevac as well, but the queens and the creep are really on top of everything. 3 medevacs filled with units are dropping here. I don't know if that's the best move. So good pullback from Clem. Alright, so a medevac does go down. Nice one from SortOf. We got some counter aggression as well with these links. This wall-up wasn't completely finished, so the siege tank might do a little friendly fire. No, he actually unsieges it so that it doesn't. Very good reaction there by Clem, and he's going to be dropping into SortOf's main as well. What's here? There's a couple Hydras that are there. They're going to be able to snipe that one medevac at the very least. Okay, so he does pull back because that would have died 100%. Nice defense here by SortOf. Very, very nice defense here. So where did that scan drop? Just here to clear some creep. And Clem just making more tanks, more medevacs. Armory on the way now for better upgrades too. 2-2 is starting for SortOf, so he will have the upgrade advantage in the long run. Take a look. Clem does have 1-1, but his 2-2 hasn't started yet, so this is a decent scenario for SortOf as long as he hangs on until his 2-2 finishes. 28 more lings are being produced, so he should be able to. So no queens injecting in that base. I feel like you might be able to have a lot of larva because it's just all spent on lings right now. So he needs to be on top of those as much as possible to keep the production going, because Clem's supply is actually higher than SortOf's at the moment. He invested in upgrades and stuff, not just units as well. He's got like 11 larvae right now, which isn't that many. You know, spread throughout all these bases anyhow. So really good denial of the creep here by Clem, and manages to pick up these units safe and sound. Really nice play. And this task force here gonna go for the snipe on the 5th hatch right there. Another pretty solid play from Clem. I think he's gonna get it. He just needs to stim. Alright, beautiful play by Clem. He's gonna be able to pull out once again. He actually just pulls back. No way. Okay, I mean, yeah, he does see him, but he's not reacting to it because Clem is on the other side, and he's gonna be dropping in the main, but this time the medevacs do go down, and on this side the medevacs will also get sniped, at least one of 2. So pretty good defense by SortOf, although Clem is pushing out. He's not finished yet. There's a lot more where that came from. He's setting up middle of the map here. There isn't much siege though. He's got to just push in and clear some creep and give himself a good place to fight. Doesn't get that tumor. Going for another one. He didn't get greedy. He decided to save those 2 Marines. Smart move. Alright, so these tanks are set up at the 4th base. There's a full wall here, but no siege tanks behind it to really help things out. But SortOf isn't really going for that. He just discovers this 4th base right here, and he's gonna pull out. So we got a lot of creep spread here, but keeps getting denied, right? So Clem has been really on top of it. This medevac is looking pretty low. The other one gets completely obliterated. These banelings coming in, crashing through the Marines. Not even gonna allow them to get that hatchery, so pretty nice. Clem trying to catch SortOf out of position. He was pushing mid-map, but instead he's gonna be dropping in the main once again. There are no Hydras here, no Queens here to deny this drop, so Clem gonna probably get some value here. There's also a lot of units at his front door, but there's a lot of units at home, so Clem should be able to defend this pretty well. We'll see how it goes down. So this drop is not being controlled just yet because Clem is worried about this army at his base. Yeah, so he does get cleaned up. And these Banelings also getting a lot of good connections here on the SCVs. 15 killed this game by SortOf. So a lot of Lings just coming through, reinforcing this Bane Hydra army. And the Vipers are out, so definite answer for all the siege tanks that are being made. But Clem's got the fusion core as well, which is pretty huge. But SortOf also has the Greater Spire. So, I mean, both of these guys are teching up pretty hard behind all of this and respecting the follow-ups in this game. Though the most noteworthy thing I haven't mentioned yet, guys, is SortOf's bank. He's got 4,300 minerals and climbing. Clem has about 400, 500 minerals right now. So basically, Clem needs to spend all his money perfectly to survive not only this wave, but the next wave of SortOf's units. Alright, so we have a pretty big attack here. This wall is unprotected. There's only a single siege tank here. These Banelings should go for the SCVs, and they are. So a pretty good attack here by SortOf. He is going to maybe get cleaned up, though. So yeah, he needs to make sure that these Hydras get away, and he also needs to make sure that these Banes try to connect. The Lings are connecting at least, getting some kills. The Ghost might go down. That's a pretty good pickup as well. Pretty good harass by SortOf, and he's going to posture in front of Clem's base, hitting these tanks from the side, catching him completely off guard. Blinding Cloud makes this fight super efficient, super effective. SortOf crashing through Clem right now, but he's going to need to pull back. This is a serious army with a lot of Ghosts and Snipes going down on the Viper. Crazy fight, but now we have the counter push coming back in again with the Hydralisks of SortOf. He's gonna get a lot of value here. I'm not sure if Clem really knows what's going on at the moment. I don't know if he realizes he's taking so much damage. He's gonna go home and then he's gonna see what's happening. Now he's gonna start repairing. This factory should go down before the siege tank comes out, but we'll see. GG is thrown. SortOf takes the last game in this best of 3. GG. GG, guys. Super well done.